Hello guys, welcome to our tutorial of PostgreSQL. In this tutorial we're going to learn about the if-else statements. Most of us have already heard about the if-else statements in PostgreSQL or in normally in any SQL. So the if statements are used to execute commands that are based on specific conditions. For example, if we want certain set of commands to execute in our SQL, like if we have a statement that if a number is greater than 40, then I want to execute this particular command. If it is less than 40, I want to execute a particular command. So if you want to divide our statement according to the value that we get, for example, we want to make a statement run if a number is less than 40. If an age is, suppose if an age is greater than 18, that a person is eligible to vote. If a person is less than 18, then he is not eligible to vote. So to make this branching or to make this conditioning in our SQL, we use if statements and then statements or else statements to classify the various statements. So I'll just show you a basic type of if-else statements. So PostgreSQL provides three ways to define if-else then statements in PostgreSQL. So first of it, we're gonna declare some variables and then use the if-else statements only using the if statement. So we'll not use the else statement first. We'll just complete it with if statements only, and then we'll slowly come on to the else statement. So we'll start off and we'll just do the same do and declare num1 is an integer. So for example, we take the number as 20 and num2 is again an integer equal to 40. So we'll check if the number is greater than num1 is greater than num2 is less than num1, or are both of them equal. So we'll just do a begin, and if num1 is greater than num2, then we'll raise notice. So I'll talk about raise notice in a later tutorial. So it is basically used to raise some exceptions that we'll use in exception handling. I'll talk about it in the coming tutorials, maybe 2 or 3 tutorials next. So we'll just use the statement to see the output and see the notice now. So we'll just use num1 is greater than num2 and end if. So we'll start another if now. If num2 is less than num2, then we'll raise a notice that num1 is less than num2 and end if. And finally, if num1 equal to num2, then we'll raise a notice that num1 is equal to num2 and we'll end if and we'll end. So we'll just run this now and see that num1 is less than num2 in our notice. So num1 is 20, num2 is 40, so it is definitely less. So we'll make it greater now. To make it greater, we'll see that num1 is greater than num2 now, and to make it 40, they both are equal now. So it works perfectly using if. So the second type of statement that the PostgreSQL provides is the if then else statement. So else statement here is basically used to provide a condition that is an alternative condition. For example, if we have no other condition, so we'll use the else condition. Like if this statement is true, then we'll just use this statement, and else we'll use a default statement. So else here is used for the default. So for example, if num1 is greater than num2, then we have this notice, and we'll end if we'll not end it, and we'll delete this, and we just use else, and we write our default statement else raise notice that num1 is not greater than num2, or num1 is less than num2, or maybe it is equal, num1 is equal to num2. So this is our default. If it is not greater than, so there are two conditions possible, that it is less than or it is equal to. So else it tells us a default statement. So if it is not greater than, so we'll go to the default that will execute this, that it must be something like this. So for example, if we take it a number greater than this, first of all, so we see that num1 is greater than num2. If we take it less, so it goes in a default, so it is less than or equal to, so, and if it is 40, we see again it goes in default statement. So now there exists the third condition where we want to use the else. For example, we want else in a branching mode. So for example, if we don't want to use the if statement again and again, we want to use if else, so we'll just use if else with that. So instead of else, we just used else if, I don't know how it is pronounced, but else if. So else if gives us a power of the third statement without using if again and again. So you might notice that we don't use the end if statement here again. So this is else if, if number is greater than num2, else if number 2 is greater than num1, then raise notice num1 is less than num2, and finally we'll use our default, raise notice num1 is equal to num2. So this makes a final. So these are the three statements possible. So here we use a default, but it is used to erase the only one condition that is left. So we cover up the second condition also in else if, and the default is that they both are equal. So if is conditioning the basic one, so the second statement is done by else if, and the third by the default statement else. So we run it. So if we just run it again, you see, yeah, it runs now. So you can see if it is equal, then num1 is equal to num2. If I make it 30, then you see it is less than num2. Make it 80, and it's greater than num2. So guys, thank you for watching this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'm going to talk about loops. So thank you for watching this tutorial. Subscribe for more and stay tuned.